What's good, y'all? What's the numbers TV? It's your boy Paul Rowe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, and like a video if you appreciate the content that Paul Rowe and What's the Numbers is I provided. Today we back on the profile piece. This one is on Dick Wolf. In this video we're going to take a look into where Dick Wolf is from and how he will come to get his name and reputation. Then we will take a look at who Dick Wolf is in regards to the New York City Bloods and what has him serving 50 years to life in prison at the moment. And lastly, we will look at the recent Gorilla Stone federal gang indictment involving Dick Wolf, along with Casanova 2 times and 16 others. Dwight Reed, aka Dick Wolf, is from Harlem, New York. Throughout the years, Dick Wolf would spend a significant time in and out of prison, where he would eventually join the New York City Bloods, or better known as the UBN at the time. He would gain fame and notoriety within the gang for being a stand-up individual who wasn't afraid to put in work on the opposition win, lose, or draw, even if he was outnumbered. Throughout time, he would put in enough work to the point the name Dick Wolf was born. Being from Harlem, Dick Wolf was already exposed to the broad vocabulary that Harlem residents use, and instead of calling each other bro, or gang, or son, they say Dick instead. So add the fact that Dick Wolf was already a problem in the streets and the jails to anyone against him, and that's where the Wolf part came into play. And that was how Dwight Reed started going by the name Dick Wolf. Now, at some point in the history of the New York City Bloods, the Stones and Brims were split from the UBN and formed their own individual nations. Dick Wolf is said to be one of the members that spearheaded that movement and eventually started his own Gorilla Stone set under the Stone Nation. The Stones would take off as a nation, gaining traction in the streets and the jails, to the point that the Stone and the Brims are two of the deepest and most talked about blood sets in New York City. And Dick Wolf will be looked at as the biggest ape of them all, who, according to the feds, continues to maintain an iron grip on the organization from behind bars. Now, the reason Dick Wolf is in jail currently dates back to January of 2014, when supposedly he shot and killed Calvern Wallace inside a PJ's bar in Harlem and then disappeared. He resurfaced in late May of 2014 when cops in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania pulled him over and noticed that he appeared drunk, reports said. After a brief chase, Dick Wolf will be arrested, and after posting $50,000 bail, was ordered to appear in a Harrisburg court to face the charges in June of 2014. New York City detectives who were looking for Dick Wolf for the Harlem murder found out about the PA arrest after he bails out and decided to show up to his court date in June, where they arrest him for the murder of Calvern Wallace. Eventually, he will go to trial on the murder and gun charges, where he will be convicted on both and sentenced to 50 years to life in prison in June of 2017. Since then, Dick Wolf has been pretty quiet. Besides the occasional pic or shout out on Instagram, you haven't heard too much about him or from him. But that would all change on December 1st of 2020, when Dick Wolf will be indicted with 17 others. The indictment has Dick Wolf as the leader and the other 17 indicted as members of his set, the Gorilla Stone Bloods. Now, the reason the indictment would make even bigger headlines is because one of the 17 indicted alongside Dick Wolf was Brooklyn rapper Casanova, who, according to the indictment, shared some of his rap earnings with Dick Wolf, among other things. For the next couple years, Casanova would sit in jail as the case played itself out in the court system, and in May of 2022, Casanova ended up pleading guilty to racketeering conspiracy and narcotics conspiracy, which was followed by his June 2023 sentencing, where he received 188 months, which is 15 years and 8 months in federal prison. Casanova currently has a release date in June of 2034. After Cass's case was resolved, it would be Dick Wolf's turn to have his day in court. And in November of 2023, Dick Wolf will be convicted at trial for his role in the racketeering conspiracy and narcotics conspiracy. Dick Wolf is still waiting to be sentenced for that conviction though. But something else worth mentioning is that Dick Wolf was granted a new trial in May of 2023 on the 2014 murder that he was charged and convicted of and given 50 years to life for. He's currently on Rikers Island awaiting trial on that murder. Maybe the sentencing in the federal case is on hold till his state murder charge gets situated. But yo, it's What's the Numbers TV. This was an updated profile piece on Dick Wolf, leader of the Gorilla Stone Bloods. Him and Casanova was in the headlines the last few years as their case was, getting situated and all that. Since then, Casanova has pled guilty, got sentenced to his time. Dick Wolf got convicted at trial, and he hasn't been sentenced yet. But he has gave back the 50 years on the murder trial and he's currently up for a new trial. Now, will they settle? Will they give him a deal? Because they had reduced that 50 years to 25 years to life, and now it got a whole new trial. So will they offer him a plea deal? Will they lower it to maybe 15, 10 years? And maybe that's why the federal sentence might be on hold, because they go by a point system. So if he ends up not getting convicted of the murder, maybe his points is lower, then maybe he's not facing as much time in the feds. But regardless, he is facing some jail time, because once the murder case gets situated, he will be probably getting sentenced in the federal case. So we just got to wait and see. But this is some new information as far as that. He did give back that murder. He's got a new trial on that. And we got to wait and see how that all plays out. So this is an updated profile piece on Dick Wolf. Hope you guys appreciate it. Make sure you guys follow the Instagram. Subscribe to the channel. We over 100,000 over here. We got videos going up almost daily. Live streams, all that good stuff. Any business, Poro, what's the numbers at yahoo.com. We do over 1 million views a month. So if you need something promoted on YouTube, this is a good place to get it done, man. But on that note, man, it's your boy Poro. I'll be back before you know it, man. I'm out of here. Peace.